Enlightenment is simple, but you have to get there to get it. Chapter 1. An Enlightened Life Guide. Enlightened Thinking 1. Enlightenment is simple. Who are you away from everything you have ever been brainwashed by? What is your true nature away from all the world's indoctrination? If you can figure it out, then find that true natural intuitive standard within yourself away from the world matrix of money, status, and coolness. You can be free to live your life your way. You have to pay your own way somehow. Don't bother people who don't want to be bothered, and follow the laws. That's the minimum you have to do to get by in the world of people. Some people get by living as hermits away from human society. Most people can't. Society is structured now such that most people live in cities. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, bought a piece of land to live in Montana as a hermit, but he couldn't avoid people. He heard the sounds of a sawmill nearby and sabotaged it several times. It's no sweat to be superficially polite to people. You have to get along with everybody and avoid going to jail. The goal is to live in your free mind, do what you want within the limits of your material worth, and avoid trouble. It's very easy to get in trouble or used and exploited by other people, because there are a lot of evil people who use others if they think they can get something out of them. Stay cool, live a good life, and don't mess with people who have no interest in you except for what they can suck out of you. Enlightened Thinking 2. In this lifetime, you got nothing to prove to anyone but yourself. The 1993 move Rudy, near the 90-minute mark. Everybody is a loner living alone in their own heads. Even the closest among us are universes apart. If you want to help someone, you do it one-on-one, individual to individual in the present moment. That's it. Everything else is human arrogance, like all those categories they put people into through that fiction called the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. A bunch of weak people buy into it and want to be taken care of by the system, so they embrace the phony therapies and the so-called mental health drugs. People want the snake oil because they don't want to stand alone and live their lives by whatever they feel within themselves, given by the divine spirit that created them. People can get hit in the head and have a traumatic brain injury. They can take lots of drugs and alcohol that deteriorate the brain, or stress can wear out the brain and cause deep cynicism, but other than that, rare are very few people that start out with something wrong in their organic brains that makes them troubled, weird, or psychotic. Most people start out normal. Some criminals or evil people are born that way, some become that way because of the environment they're raised in. There is proof on both sides. I've known blue blood guys who couldn't conform and be good. There are very few truly crazy people. Most are just selfish, manipulative people, crazy like a fox. I used to babysit a kid about 5 years younger than me. His temper tantrums were a ploy to get what he wanted. He became a cook as an adult. He seems normal. If somebody is a danger to others, lock them up. If they're not, nobody can really help them with whatever is going on in their heads. Life is your own spirit and willpower to help yourself or not. That's it. You either solve your own problems on your own in your own head, or live as a tortured wimp in some way. Everybody has to live their lives alone. Feel your essence or soul, then live by it to the best of your ability in a world that is trying to indoctrinate you everywhere. E. E. Cummings said, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best day and night to make you like everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight, and never stop fighting. Follow moral rules and don't break laws, but beyond that, it's all someone else's BS. If you want to feel alive, do some hard physical activity outdoors. That's always a challenge. You feel good after you do it because you've earned self-respect. They try to get you to defer to the system over yourself in grade school. Most people sell their souls to the system's fake knowledge. That's why they're miserable. They're not following their true natures. A guy by the name Alan Watt on YouTube and cuttingthroughthematrix.com, who is now deceased, said they try to get you to defer to all the phony experts out there over trusting yourself. This is some kind of big mind control thing for modern day society. They even got experts to help you clean the clutter in your closets. The system has cut us off from our true natures by creating a bunch of phony knowledge out there, trying to fool us into thinking it knows more than we as individuals know about our lives and other people in general. Nobody has the goods on anyone else's life, and nobody ever will until we master telepathy. Life is human alone. You create everything you do or don't do. No one can get in your head 24/7 and inspire or motivate you or do the opposite, try to make you feel small by bullying you. Enlightenment is to discover your God-given nature and live by it by releasing that energy God gave you day by day, as opposed to getting sucked in by the world and following its artificial values. Know your life force, release it all the time and keep it as strong as you can until you pass. There's the life coach BS, these arrogant asses proclaiming themselves as advanced people who can help you for a high fee. I saw a 23-year-old on a TV show with the title of life coach, claiming to have advanced knowledge that can help people much older than her. Stories like The Wizard of Oz, The Emperor's New Clothes and 1984 were created to tell the people that the big lie we live under is that there is some authoritative system out there that knows deep, advanced stuff that we, ordinary people, don't know, so we had better listen, go to school, believe what we're told, then become good system clones. It's control. Since the beginning of humanity, people got together and formed governments not for the good of the people but to control them. There are no benevolent governments anywhere. We haven't solved poverty and homelessness after 200 years of democracy in the US. They suck what they can out of the people in taxes and laws. If you want to know about the income tax fraud and why you're a wage slave, try these terms online. Fractional reserve banking. Bill Still Money Masters fraud. Paul Hellyer Money Masters fraud. G. Edward Griffin Money Masters fraud. Enlightened Thinking 3. Mental health professionals and humanities/liberal arts professors pretend they have advanced answers to life, but God made everyone with normal intelligence with the potential to reach the highest level of enlightenment, which is to know your own purity as an individual. They categorize children into special education classes. Most adults are brainwashed by this fraudulent system too. The infrastructure of our modern, Western society is screwed, selling us into this crap, including chemical prescription drugs over herbs and traditional medicine. Many couples, who are supposedly intimate soulmates, barely have a superficial knowledge of each other, yet we got a bunch of nerds pretending they have a good knowledge of the entire human condition. Joseph Campbell, a guy interested in mythology who never got a PhD in anything, cracked the universal story of enlightenment, which he called the hero's journey. The hero goes out into the world with his or her ideas, delusions of grandeur, good intentions, and naivete, is slapped around, beaten up, abused and exploited by disgusting people, then rises from the ashes like the phoenix, saying, "Screw you world, I got my own soul and true nature given by the God who created me. I will live by that for the rest of my life. I will be my own hero and live to release the natural energy from my soul." Everything in school except for the 3 Rs, some science, math, logic, and practical skills, is someone else's bullshit. Mental health drugs are massive fraud. You will never solve a problem of the human spirit with drugs. Nobody has telepathic powers, the ability to know what someone else is thinking or feeling, so how could any righteous person pretend to have deep, advanced insights about the mass sea of humanity and present themselves as superior sages? Back in my day when I was a kid in the 1960s, it was obvious who was a mentally challenged child. They had real organic brain dysfunctions. Nowadays, they're diagnosing a lot of kids as learning disabled to get extra funding for their school. They have formalized the mental health system so that it parallels the conventional medical system, which is full of fraud too. They got the whole mental health thing covered by health insurance, so it's easy to get a referral by a medical doctor, then go to some modern-day witch doctor called a psychiatrist. If you think of it as a capitalist for-profit venture, it's easy to see that some, not all, medical doctors and mental health professionals are in it for the money. They want new patients to make money from. They don't care how fraudulent they are. You can look up Farid Fatah, the oncologist who was falsely diagnosing people with cancer to make money. PTSD is overblown fraud. It used to be called shell shock. You go to war, you're traumatized, but after a few weeks of rest, if you're still laying around claiming to be mentally ill, it's your fault for being a wimp, for not having the willpower to get up and live a normal active life. The people of every war and disaster up until recently had no choice but to struggle and move ahead or wither and die, but now they say your wimpy character is not your fault. It's a disease, something in your brain beyond your control. For thousands of dollars covered by health insurance, we can hold your hand, pretend to be your friend and pretend to help. Big Pharma had to get in on the action, creating all kinds of drugs to try to raise dopamine levels in the brain. Why don't you just go for a walk or do what inspires you? It's a lot better than taking some poisonous drug with all their side effects. I saw the CBS 60 Minutes show with Kitty Dukakis acting as the cheerleader for electroshock therapy to help her deal with depression. The world has gone mad when human beings are so sad that they line up to get electricity zapped through their brain that will kill brain cells and erase some memory permanently. Only you can create your own natural joy or be a sniveling, pathetic wimp. That's about it. It's all up to you, like old man Robert Schuller used to say with his religious self-help shtick. Every human being lives alone in their own heads. They either have the internal strength to live as they are by nature or betray themselves and live sniveling lives. Enlightened Thinking 4. I am my own being. I love my life. I hold it sacred. I won't give it up to some BS out there trying to pretend it's more advanced than me about the human condition. God gave me everything I am. I don't need massive bull trying to separate me from my God-given soul, pretending they got some advanced hocus-pocus psychobabble voodoo on me that I'm supposed to defer to and say, "You wise, superior people. You know more about my life than me. I defer to you, my masters." You're going along living your life hurting no one, then some counselor at school or work pretending to be an advanced sage comes up and says you got a mental illness. You don't fit into our standards of normality. It's a way to control people you don't like or people who are too individual for the system and don't want to listen to the conformist BS, like in school with ADHD, dyslexia, oppositional defiant disorder, and all that other garbage. School is actually an artificial system imposed over natural free children. If you look at it that way, we're imposing on children's freedom in some way. School is good to a point but bad when it indoctrinates people to an artificial way of life. You got these college psychology departments around the world all pretending to do research on the human condition. How much research can you do? Life is very simple. Americans never used to commit suicide much. Now all of a sudden, they pump all these vets up with drugs and they're committing suicide en masse, blaming it on PTSD. I blame it on the drugs they give them. Many drugs have weird side effects like psychotic thinking. How many killers are on mental health drugs? They hardly ever link evil acts with mental health drugs on the news. The big drug companies spend lots of money on advertising. On a true cop show, some guy on mental health drugs was on the roof of his house because he thought people were out to kill him. Psychologists play a mind game with some people to try to get them to feel bad about themselves based on their past or bad things they might have done so that they can get these patients hooked on getting them to come to more therapy sessions to make money. Some psychologists abuse their power. They get a power trip out of dealing with patients. A few abuse them sexually. I don't only think that the mental health industry is a lie. I think it's a crime against humanity for letting therapists mess with weak people. There has got to be a more honest, simpler way to help people. Proverbs 18:14 says the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear, which means that your spirit will either make you or break you. It's just you making or breaking your life. There is no subconscious mind, some hidden part of you. When you dream a bunch of random, ridiculous stuff that has no relevance to your life. Your life starts when you wake up and think, then act or lay in bed like a wimp. Sometimes when you're thinking about something and go to sleep, your brain figures it out in a dream while you sleep, but that's not a subconscious mind. It's incubation, relaxed thinking, letting your intuition figure things out like I do when I go for a long walk. I daydream. I let my free flow of thoughts go. The mental health, psychology, psychiatry are for-profit industries geared to make money. They started with good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. There are bona fide good, helpful people in these fields, but most are trivial brainwashed clones hiding behind the phony legitimacy of the formal mental health psychology credential, acting as pushers for their big daddies, the drug companies. Whatever happened to love, compassion and kindness, talking to someone as an individual straight from the natural feelings in your soul? They replaced it with a huge matrix of crap that is broad enough to diagnose anyone with some mental illness, then start making money off them with fake therapy and drugs. Enlightened Thinking 5. I've read life improvement books as far back as 1850 at Gutenberg.org. In the beginning, some good people tried to understand life and write advice to help others, but the publishing industry got a hold of this idea and have never stopped creating new self-help books all the time to make money, not necessarily to help people. If they wanted to sincerely help people, they would publish truth as censored by any normal intelligent person's BS meter. P.T. Barnum's adage says there's a sucker born every minute, which extends to people feeling confused about life, but there is nothing complicated about human life, and there never will be, despite how much technology of the mind any con artist claims to come up with. You were born a pure baby like any animal, with a true nature. That's all you will ever own in life. All the bullshit in this artificial world called society will keep coming at you every day. If you lose a hold of who you really are, you will betray yourself, and this will cause most of the problems you have in your mind, body, and soul. Will I be the hero of my own life or be a wimp? David Copperfield, Charles Dickens. Will I be the one in the arena, giving it all I got, or one of the huddling masses of spectators? Theodore Roosevelt. Will I go gently into that good night, or rage for my life? Dylan Thomas. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt, 1910.